you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shayla and I'm so happy you stumbled across this video. Today I wanted to recap my entire very first NPC Bikini bodybuilding show day with you guys. I wanted to talk through all of that as well as talk about any post-show plans. 2023, am I competing again? What are my thoughts on that? So I will walk through all those things in this video. So if you're interested in that, just keep on watching. All right, I first want to start out with the basics. So if you don't know anything bodybuilding, or if this is the first video that you are watching of mine and you're interested in competing, or you have a friend that's competing and you're just interested how the process works, I got you. I was a complete and total newbie. I had no idea what was going on, but I was obviously very, very excited. So my journey for bodybuilding didn't just begin the 6 weeks before prep or 12 weeks before prep, which you see a lot of people do. I actually began my bodybuilding journey back in April, and I hired my coach then. I hired him back in April in hopes of competing in the Texas Cup, which was November 12th, so last month. And he was like, this is great because we definitely need to build your lower body. Your upper body is fine. We just definitely need to, fine tune little details, condition, get your diet, get your meal plan, the whole 9 yards. So it was great to start early, and I highly recommend, if you're thinking about competing, hiring your coach way early on. And that's simply because they can get to know your body. They can get to know what you're intolerant to, or what fuels you better, or what makes you look better, because honestly the whole thing is physique, right? So it's what makes you look better. So for me, for example, sweet potatoes look fantastic. I thrive off of sweet potatoes, versus, this is kind of not related, but like asparagus, I don't do well with asparagus. So just random things like that that your coach can figure out about you, as well as be able to condition you early on and maybe work on the problem areas that you might need to build or lose right before, your show. So we started back in April and we were on track, looking great, to get to that November 12th date. Then 5 days before, I got the flu. And it was a nasty flu. And unfortunately, I had to pull out of the show. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, 5 days before? Come on, like, you could probably feel better in 5 days. And that's true, but when you're getting that close to competing, you have to manipulate your water. So you have to cut your water, cut your food, which that's vitamins, nutrients, and obviously you're dehydrating yourself. You can't do that if you have the flu. That is just detrimental to your health. So my coach is very adamant about your health comes first. Your health comes first. So we decided to pull out of the show, and it was devastating. With the show being December 10th, we're like, oh, we can push 4 more weeks and just get there. And honestly, I'm so glad we did, because I definitely brought a better package to this show than I would have the November 12th show. So really excited. As far as show sign up and how that works, so if you're thinking about competing, you obviously need to pick the division that you want to compete in. And I chose bikini. There's bikini, wellness, figure, physique. There's all kinds of stuff that you can pick from, but I chose bikini. And I've always just followed along a ton of bikini athletes. I've been mesmerized by their work ethic and just always wanted to do it. So that's what I did. And when you go to sign up, it is categorized by height. So I will compete against people in my height range, which I'm almost 5'2". I'm right on the cusp of 5'2", like right there. And so I was categorized as class B, which is I think 5'1" to 5'2 1/4, something like that. But I'm in that little bitty group, class B. So I signed up for 3 classes. I signed up for True Novice. True Novice you can only sign up for once if you're competing, and that is basically just first time competitors. I also signed up for Novice Class B, which was my height group, full of competitors that may be nationally qualified, that may be newbies, it doesn't matter. It's just my height group. That's Novice Class B. Open Class B is against all the girls that are in my height. And with Open, it's great because that is the group that you can qualify to go to a national competition, which obviously is most bodybuilders' goals when you're first starting out, is to qualify for nationals, and then you could possibly get your pro card at the national show. I signed up for all 3 of those, which is nerve-wracking, but I wanted to just go on stage as many times as I could, right? So those are the 3 classes I signed up for. Also, if you place in the open class, you can go for the overall win. So against every bikini athlete there, any height, any age, no matter what, that is the overall winner. So I definitely wanted to do open for sure, but I wanted to also hit the True Novice. My goal going into this show was to win True Novice. So I wanted to beat all the other newbies because I'm in the same boat as them. I have put everything into it, and I knew that in my bones I could win that division if I really put my mind to it. So that was my #1 goal, was to win True Novice. The day before the show, when we drove down to Dallas, I rode with my husband, but my best friend, basically sister, came, McKenna came, my mom, McKenna's boyfriend came, and Garrett, Wyatt's brother, came, and obviously my coach came as well. It's a big group of us going, and I highly recommend having some support go with you, but being fully transparent on how you're feeling with them so you don't get snappy. I know for me, like, if I'm hungry and tired and dehydrated, which I was all 3 of those, and stressed out, and don't feel like I have enough energy to keep up, I get really antsy, like anxious, because I don't want to mess up. I didn't want to get snappy. So I was very transparent with them. Hey, this is how I'm feeling. I think Friday night, I just want to chill in the room with Wyatt. Y'all are more than welcome to come chill if you want, but I'm not going anywhere or doing anything because I need to rest. So obviously they were very cool and understanding about that. But Friday, I was really freaking nervous. There was an athlete check-in at 6 o'clock, which I don't know why I was so nervous for this, but it's like I was a lost puppy walking into my first day of school. But you go in and everyone's kind of swagged out. You can tell ones that have competed before, like they know what to wear or how to act, where to sit. And I'm just like this new chick in white sweats, which don't wear that. But everybody at the show who worked it was so nice. They were so nice. They just walked me through everything. They helped me out with everything. But the athlete check-in was great. They gave us all the tips, all the places we needed to be all the time. And it really made me feel better after that, knowing where to go, what to do, because you have to book all these appointments ahead of time, like your spray tan, your makeup, your hair, whatever you need to book. And I booked mine through the show. And so I was like, I have no idea where to go. I don't know what to do. So it was really helpful to do that. And that's also where I got my number, which was really exciting. And they also verify your height. So if you're saying you're 5'2", but you're really 5'3", or whatever, they do put you in your proper height class. So you can't, fib or say you accidentally put the wrong height. It's fine, they measure you anyways. After athlete check-in, I had my spray tan, and that, maybe I'll talk about that in my what to expect as a first-time competitor, because that was a crazy experience. And it was a good experience. Everyone that worked that booth was so nice. I mean, so incredibly nice, but it was just wild. I've never experienced anything like that. But had my first coat of spray tan, which you have to get a second, like you have to get touch-ups and your second spray tan the next morning, because when you sleep, it'll get messed up a little bit. So I had my spray tan that night, went to bed just fine. I wasn't nervous after that. And then woke up the next morning, and we actually didn't go on stage for pre-judging until like the early evening, so 4:30, 5 o'clock, which was really late. The show ran really late. And y'all, before I got on stage, I was sitting backstage like shaking. I was so nervous. I was like, should I even go up there? Am I ready? Am I lean enough? I mean, all the things, all the doubts come in your brain, but you just have to completely cancel that out and just be like, I've worked so hard for this. I am gonna go up there and strut my stuff because I've worked too hard on my stuff. So True Novice came around, which was the first time I went on stage, and honestly, thank God, because that gets all your jitters out, and I would rather get my jitters out with other girls who want to get their jitters out before going on stage for novice or open when you're against nationally qualified, athlete. True Novice went up, I was shaking. I actually stumbled on my posing routine, which I was so upset about, but it ended up working out just fine. And novice came around, I was way more comfortable. Open came around, I was way more comfortable. And I actually placed in the middle. They moved me to the middle on all 3 of the classes that I signed up for. So I was like, that's a good place to be. My coach just told me that's a good place to be. That means that you are definitely gonna place if you are in the middle during prejudging, because when they bring out for finals, that's when they medal you. This show was a little bit different than what I had been used to knowing or seeing prior. Obviously I haven't competed before, but typically they would have you walk across stage, do your posing routine, and walk off stage. So it's like one person at a time. But for this show, what they did was they had you walk in the middle, do your routine, and then put you on this side on this stage at a diagonal. So they lined up all the girls that were competing. And mind you, my class was huge. And so it was so exhausting to have to stand up there and smile, especially when you're nervous, because I shake when I'm nervous. So I was like shaking, but when your nerves are crazy and you're tired and you're really thirsty because your water's cut, having to stand there and pose is hard. So we had to stand there the whole time. But I think it was really great for me, especially my first show, to get all the stage jitters out, because I was on there for so long. You know, by the time open came around, I was like, I can do this again. Finals didn't happen until really late, really late. They literally did not start for bikini until probably around 9 o'clock. And we didn't end up leaving the venue until 1:30 a.m. It was insane, honestly, so much fun. So finals comes around, they call your number, or they call your group in the back, you line up, and it was great because we weren't gonna have to repose. They'd already made their decisions essentially. You just have to go up on stage and then they medal you. So they pull the top 5 from each group. So if you don't make the top 5, well, for this show, I know every show is different, I think, newbie, but they pulled the top 5 per each class. So like true novice, I made the top 5. So they pulled the top 5 there, they put us up on stage, and I ended up placing first in true novice, which was my goal. And that was such an overwhelming, amazing experience. And I have like my family's reactions and stuff on my show day vlog if you guys wanted to watch that. So true novice, I placed first, which was amazing. And then novice B came around. I also placed first there, which was huge. I just couldn't believe I went 2 in a row first place. That was unreal. And then open came around, and this was the big shots, right? So if you win open, you can compete for the overall. So when they called my name for first place in open, I was unbelievably ecstatic. But I remember they put the medal on me, the first place medal, and I smiled, I got off stage, I put my medal down, and I start lining up to like get pumped up because I was gonna go for the overall now that I placed first in open. So it was like, I did a mini celebration, but I didn't let my emotions get to my head. I was just like, okay, stay focused, because now you have a shot for going for the overall. And mind you, because I placed first in open, I did qualify nationals. I did qualify nationally, so that was really fun. So for the overall, I went up there, and man, I remember just the feeling of when you're in your back pose. It's the best pose because you don't have to do anything with your face. So it's funny because if you watch girls from backstage, they're like, because smiling hurts your cheeks so bad, so you just like frown. But I remember sitting back, like doing my back pose and staring at the stage backdrop and being like, come on. Like it was the best feeling ever. I unfortunately did not win the overall, which I was so upset with myself on that. But it's my first show. I can't be too hard on myself. It was a huge show and a very hard show to compete in. So I need to, you know, stop being so hard on myself. But they didn't give second or third place medals for the overall. They only gave the first place one. But I was either on the right side or the left side of the girl in the middle. So I think I was at least top 3. I'm not sure. I don't know how this works, but I'm pretty sure I was top 3 because they moved me to the middle, like to the side of the girl in the middle. And she looked unbelievable, mind you, she looked unbelievable. She was really tall, which I wish I was tall because it just looks so much better if you're tall. But anyways, so afterward, you know, I was a little bit bummed after that, but then, you know, I see my medals and I got really happy. And the best part about this whole thing was the judge came, well, there was multiple judges, but one of the judges came in the back and came and shook my hand. And like, I don't even remember everything that he said, but he basically said like, you did an amazing job. We love your stage presence, but you know, I think we definitely need to work on your glutes a little bit, you know, grow those, mature those. And I think you'll be able to do really well, or say something like that. But it was like, I was in shock that one of the judges felt the need or the want to come talk to me. It was so great after a long day. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. These guys are working all day long. For him to come up and talk to me I was blown away. I was blown away by the professionalism and just the kindness and the appreciation for the hard work that I put in. So that was really probably the coolest part of the night. Post show, so right now I'm 10 days out. I'm currently roughly 2 pounds above stage weight, which is still pretty low for me. But honestly, all in all, from the weight that I started at to my show day weight, I was only 7 pounds lighter, which for a lot of girls, that's nothing. For a lot of girls, that's a lot. For me, that is a lot, but it's not, you know, for me to be up 2 pounds it makes sense for me being, you know, 7 pounds lighter than what I initially was. To begin with, I feel really good. I did go off meal plan for about like 5 days. Post-show plans. Am I gonna compete again? Yes. I've got to compete again. 2023 is gonna be a really good year. I'm really excited because the judge had told me to grow my glutes. That's what we're gonna focus on. I did qualify for nationals, so I could go and compete at a national show, but I feel like I need to do another regional before I go to a national show, just to get some experience. You know, I've only been across the stage 1 time. I think just to build my confidence as well as get feedback from the judges before I go to a national show, I think is wise. So that's kind of the plan. I have a good while to build. I'm gonna build my glutes. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring you guys along that process, and then obviously bring you guys along for that prep as well. All really, really exciting things. I hope you guys are excited for that and ready for that kind of content again, because I already miss it. I already miss the grind. That is going to be it for this video. I know it was probably either annoying, redundant, or long-winded, and I apologize for that, but I really just wanted to give you guys the insight on what I was really thinking during show day, how I placed, what it all means, because I know for someone like me, when I was watching these videos, I'm like, what is novice? Like, what does that even mean? So I hope this helped out a little bit there. Stay tuned for a video that's coming up shortly after this one regarding things I wish I would have known or things that you should know as a first-time competitor that I either learned from my posing coach and want to share with you guys, or experienced it myself and went, dang, I wish I would have known this. So stay tuned for that video. And I just want to thank you guys again for the overwhelming support and love throughout this journey. It's been so much fun, and I can't wait to compete in 2023. All right, guys, I'll see you in my next video.